Hi everyone, and welcome to Watercolor with Sonia Mocnik. In these videos you get to not only see the beginning of my thought processes, but all the process that goes from beginning to end with the watercolor and the image. And I look forward to working with you on understanding different techniques in watercolor as well as enjoying the final results. Come along for the journey. Hi and welcome to Watercolor with Sonia. I am now going to show you a sunset similar to the one I've done in the past, but this time I'm using Transparent Yellow by Winsor Newtons as my first layer of color. And then I will continue with Quinacridone Rose, and then I have a Payne's Gray by Van Gogh, and my blue is still going to be my Phthalo blue. Alright, so this time I'm going to wet everything. I have masked ahead of time some of the streaks on the clouds that I want, but this time I'm going to wet everything. And you know how we've talked about wetting items. You see a sheen, and I don't know if you can see the sheen. Yes, you can, just over here especially. I don't have the water in there. So now the whole thing is really wet. And that's great, because I want it to be really wet just to try my transparent yellow on it. So transparent yellow can be very strong. It's almost like a quin. It can really be dominant and lovely and yellow. So I'm putting it right across everything right now, and I'm going back in and I'm just darkening areas where I want to dark. I did notice that using this product, different to Hansa, it can it looks like it's really strong, and then when you let it really dry, it's nowhere near as strong as you think it is. So again, the mountains are around here. I'm just filling in the yellow, and that's it. Now in my other video I did the blues first to try and avoid getting any green in there. This time I didn't do that. So we're going to see what happens. First of all, I'm going to go, since I have a bunch of mixed blue and kind of a purpley amount, which I want underneath here. Oh, can I do it? No, I can't. I could, but it's going to creep all the way into all these areas, so I can't possibly do that. Same goes for up here. Look at, because even where the masking fluid is, you can see how moist it is. So I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to hair dry this, and then we'll come back. Hi and welcome back. I have zoomed in a little bit more so you can see how I'm going to remove the masking fluid here. This is dry now, so I'm using my rubber cement eraser to take off the masking fluid that I had on here. I used quite a large brush. I didn't go and do any fine lines when I was using the masking fluid. So you can see that I'm going to have to do a bit of work to actually make this look more natural. And so it just leaves a residual black on it. And then you just pick that off as you need to. And then you just test by just quickly feeling if you've missed anything, because it'll be rough. It's amazing how quickly you can feel it on there. Okay, so we are going to now come in and tidy up some of our strokes. And I'm going to use a 2 here. And just looking, there's more purple up here, so I'm going to come back in with more purple. I was using the Quin Rose, so I'm just going to see how I can make that nice purple come in. There's a little bit more water in here. And blend it a bit. There's also a bit more orangey area, so I'm just going to grab some more purple. I could be using Imperial Purple too, but I wanted to show you with a mix that's made up of your own colors. coming back in with the Quin Rose. I'm going to just bring it right in. Make this very nice and reddish. Notice the yellow didn't get up in here as much, it's more orangey, so let's add a little bit more of that color. Oh yeah. And that one area we should just kind of blend it together a bit more here. That's it. It's a bit dark. I will fix that. And it's a bit lighter up on top here, so add a little bit more there. And we didn't get a lot of that nice coloring down in this area, so let's see if I can bring that in. I'll try. That was with a mixture of the blue and the red. Let's just try the red. I need some more water. Okay, we were using transparent yellow, so I'm going to mix the transparent yellow again with the red to get more of that heated orange. And then we'll put a little bit of that same orangey yellow into the tree, because it seems to be reflecting a bit of it. We could even use a bit of the red. I recommend a larger sheet if you can, because I really find that it's too hard to make all the nice streaks and easily make a nice sunset with a very small sheet of paper. I find that it's a bit streaky, even with all the water we used. Also, I noticed up here that there's just a bit of hint of that same orangey yellow. So I'm just going to go in and pop in a bit of that coloring and let the water do the rest. There was a bit of purple up there. I'm just going to make a little bit of magenta and let it kind of streak across. There's a bit on the top of the cloud, and there's a bit of streaks coming in, just below it too. Okay, and then doing all that, let's get some darks back in with more of the Payne's gray that I was using by adding some additional gray into this, and to try and get that feeling of that lovely loose and droopy tree. A much darker base. And get that droop in there. I'm using quite a bit of the Payne's gray to get that dark. You may have to do it a couple times in order to get that feeling. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to darken. Because even if I were to darken the mountains with the Payne's gray, just so that you can see what the difference is in terms of a darker background, I don't know if that's going to help you because the trees are subtle, but they get lost if it's too dark. Okay, just noticing the camera is a bit shaky there. All right, and that is our second sunset.